first off, we're in a new environment. Hi guys, don't question the setup. Maybe you like the setup, I don't know. It's giving stuck in the car with Tara Yummy, but there is no Tara Yummy, there's just me. So sorry for that lack of expectation there. But yeah, this is the new setup for this video, and probably this video only. But hopefully I don't look like complete trash. It is currently my favorite type of fucking weather though. Cussing, I still don't know the rules about that. I feel like nobody really cares on this channel because of like the size of it, so I don't think anybody on YouTube's really gonna dox me for anything. Was that the right word? Not cancel, maybe like, I don't know, when you like cuss or something, demonetize, there you go. Don't think anybody from YouTube's gonna demonetize anything on this channel for cussing, so maybe I'm fine for now. But yeah, it's literally the perfect weather. Gloomy, this is my favorite weather. This is the weather that brings me happiness. So yeah, so this is kind of gonna be a story time in the car with me. Also, there was a hair on my big fat ring, thank you. So I don't even know where to begin. So this is story time with me. Story time. My car got stolen. Let's talk about it. So I have I'm very much into JDM cars. I'm very much into fixing old cars, doing little project cars here and there. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I wasn't always into that. I was more like forced to be into that because those types of lemon cars were the only ones I could afford on my own to buy. So let's just cut the chase. Your boy was broke, and that's all that he could afford. So having said that, I grew to love working on cars and learning the ins and outs and what you can do to like spice up an old car a little bit and all that stuff. So minimum to say is my cars are my children. So yeah, this was going to be my 4th car that I've had in like 4 or 5 years. Let's not talk about it. In 5 years actually, because I got my first car in 2020. That was a black Mazda Miata with pop-up headlights, black. It was named Crowley. After that, I got a 2002 Acura Integra. No offense, but that car was shitty. It was a shit car that I bought from somebody who I shouldn't have trusted in the first place. Yeah, that car had a lot more problems than was promised. And then I had a Honda Civic Rex RX named Revenge, and now those were my babies. Those were my cars in the previous. My Mazda Miata will always have a very special place in my heart. That was my number 1 baby. It was my dream car, and I was literally lucky enough to get it as my first car. So maybe one day I'll have the luck of getting one again. But since then, now I have my current car. And all I'm gonna say is I love Hondas. I love JDM cars. So this is where let's start with the story. Get a little lunch, get a little drink, get a little matcha, get a little tea, get a little dinner going. I don't know what your life is. Put me in the background while you study, podcast me, I don't know. But basically, me and a friend had decided that we were going to go out of state for the weekend to visit our friend. So we ended up going out of state, and we were having such a good time. I was enjoying my life, and I had decided to leave my car in the hands and the care of my mother. So I left my car in the hands of the care, whatever. I still have trust issues. So basically, my car was parked in my paid parking spot of where I live. Okay? This place is apparently gated. Apparently we have security aka is one security car or one security guy who respectfully, I don't see him half the time there. Maybe he'll be there one night out of the week. But they claim we have security. And then we also have security cameras. Y'all understand why I'm putting all of this in quotations very soon. So, basically, I'm getting caught lacking right now. Oh my god. Owner had to, aka I'm not in my car. Okay, let's just get that straight. Okay, let's be fucking transparent. I don't know why I'm being so aggressive right now. I think I'm just mad. But yeah, so last clip, edit, cut, now we're here. Might look a little different. Lighting might have changed. Background might have changed. Whatever. I don't know what you can see. I know the audio has changed because the owner of the location I'm recording had to move. And now I'm stuck with the freaking loudest raindrops ever in my last location. None of the raindrops were being this loud and annoying. They were all soft and subtle. And now this one is gonna this is how people go crazy. The sound of raindrops playing over and over and over again. That's how people lose their minds. And that's how I'm currently losing my mind. So I want to zen out, but every time I try and breathe, I just hear that drop and I want to like do very homicidal rage things. So I might have to move this car because this thing might actually drive me insane. This is literally how they make people's insanity break, is by having a raindrop fall on their head for multiple hours. So unless that raindrop stops, then I'm gonna lose it. I was able to fix the insanity. With sacrifices had to be made, but it's fixed. But let's jump right in to the story time. Sorry if I look crusty. This is the reality of who I am. Thank you. But yeah, I left my car in the hands and the care of my mother and back to the apartment having protective measures, whatnot. So we were literally having a great weekend trip, hanging out with our friend out of state, enjoying our time and all that, when everything kind of came crashing down on like Monday morning. I had Monday, it was time for us to basically like come back home, and I didn't really get any of my mother's calls, and so when I finally got back in state, I ended up getting dropped off at my friend's house, who was closest to my other friends. So the friend, we're gonna call them Stacy. I had went out with Stacy to the out of state, to go see our out of state friend, and then Stacy lives close to, we're gonna call them John. So Stacy lives close to John, so Stacy ends up dropping me off at John's and then going home, and then the whole plan was to have John drop me back off at home because I didn't have a car at this point. And so as I'm at John's, my mother ends up calling me and was like, "Oh, did you take your car this morning?" And I was so confused because I was like, how could I have taken my car if I've been out of state? I'm the only one who has the keys, and I took the keys with me out of state so that I could still have a key to get into my house. And so, into my home, my humble abode. But I was literally like, how could I have taken my car? And I was like, she kept asking these questions, and so I finally am like, is it not in my parking spot? And she was like, no, it's not. And I was like, well, if it's not in my parking spot, call the police. Like, that it's been taken, because I don't have it, you don't have it, my friends don't have it, I'm the only one who has the key to it. And so she ended up saying, like, I'm not calling the cops, you have to call the cops, because that's your car, not mine. And I was like, okay. So I literally am stuck at John's house until John gets home. So then once John gets home, I literally am like panicking, and I'm like, hey, can you please just drop me off at my place so that I can call the police and get a police report and like a fucking search unit and canines out to find my car. And so we rush back to my place, and lo and behold, my parking spot is empty. There's no glass on the floor though, so I'm like, these people definitely didn't break a window, which means they took their time jimmying the window in order to unlock the car. Which made me even more upset, because you know how long it takes to jimmy a window, and like my car is literally in front of people's like living room windows, and nobody noticed anything, nobody called anybody or anything. So basically I ended up calling 911, seeing maybe if it was towed or anything by accident. They said it wasn't towed. We're having a police officer, the deputy, come and help you out. Deputy comes by. I've dealt with the police before. They respectfully, they don't do shit. They really don't. Like, I could go into a whole rant about this, but they really don't. But basically what happened was, they get there, they're like, so it's stolen? I'm like, yeah, it's not there. So unless it flew. Somebody took my car. They asked me all these basic questions of like, does anybody else have the key? And I'm like, no. I literally just came back from vacation to my car being stolen. The disgrace. I literally said that in the past, in this freaking place, that this has happened before to my car, but they didn't take it. They just had broken in, and respectfully, that was my fault. Because my car back then had like an issue with it, and so they like were able to pop the hood, take the car battery as well as like my stuff in there. But that's a different story to tell. So basically, this is twice. At this point, I'm like, I'm upset because I'm like, it happened twice in this place, and this place has told me, the office people have told me like, yeah, we'll beef it up, we'll be more secure on stuff like this. Sure. At this point, I feel targeted. What happened was, after, I feel so awkward looking at you guys, because I'm like, y'all don't know this, but like, there's so many people behind you guys in their cars just staring at me, and I just have to keep going like this is normal. Yeah, basically did that, and they literally, so the deputy said, you should check the cameras. The office is obviously closed today, so go check them in the morning. I decided not to stay at my place because I didn't feel safe there. I ended up staying at John's place with my friends, and the next morning, amazing friends ended up taking me to the office of where I live, and we talked there, and I literally was like, I said, I need to see the footage, and they're like, oh, we can't show you the footage, and I was literally like, I've been through this shit with you guys before, I don't give a fuck, pardon all my language, I will not be leaving until I see those footage, because my property was stolen off of your property, which claims to be safe. So last time y'all played little hee hee ha ha, now I ain't playing, so show me the footage. And they were like, oh, this and this, and I was like, I don't care, I'll have the police right now. This is literally what the police told me, was for me to look at the footage and get back to them with anything that I found. So yeah, basically me do my own investigation. Isn't that what they normally tell most of us to do? Like, they don't do anything, they just file a report, so legally the world knows you've been fucked over. I was fighting with the people and all this stuff, and I was just like, yeah, I don't feel safe, I would like to see the footage, all this stuff. And instead of being simple like, okay, come into the office, let's look at the footage together and all this stuff, they start saying, oh, you don't feel safe, we can move you from your location to a different location. it's gonna be the same paperwork as moving into a new apartment. Who the like
child. Anyway, so
I don't care about moving right now. My main priority is just looking at the footage, calling the police, and telling them all the information I have. I need to see the footage to see who took the car, where it went, all this stuff. And they're like trying to pull stuff out of their behinds. Like, I'm like, one problem at a time. Right now is the car. Let's focus on the car instead of you trying to sell me another place to live. So finally, they are not budging, and so I'm like, F this. I literally call the police number they left me with, and I was like, hey, I'm trying to get the footage. They're kind of being difficult. I need an officer down here to like help me out, because they keep saying like, oh, they can't show me it without a police officer. And I get that, because that's what happened the first time. But that's why when I was filling out the police report, I asked the officer, like, is it okay for me to see the footage? And they said for me to watch it and then get back to them. Finally, they literally call me into the office, and they're like, is that your car? Literally on the TV. They're like, oh, we're looking at this time frame at this point. Is that your car? And I was like, yes, that's my baby right there parked. And then they literally, I was thinking they're gonna let me watch the rest of the footage. And so literally they're like, okay, we just needed you to confirm like that was your vehicle. Now you can leave, and we're gonna watch the rest of the footage without you. So sus, but okay. Okay.
that's suspicious.
Yeah, it's fine.
They literally only let me identify what vehicle in the video was mine, and then they didn't allow me to watch anything else, which made me so upset. So then finally the officer came, and I was like, they only let me watch this. And then they're like, okay, I'm gonna go in and watch what they're showing, right? I wish I was allowed in there, because first off, what the fuck am I gonna do? I probably could own, the best thing that I could do is identify the perpetrator, but y'all don't want me to do that for some weird reason. This office being so weird with their footage.
That's weird.
They took it. It looks like a white male in a black hoodie took it. Nothing distinctive about the hoodie. There's no, basically the cameras are shit, so we can't really facial recognize his face or anything. But we're gonna try and keep track of your like license plate on the cameras around and see if it like hits any like cameras. AKA, I know how this works. I know that lights, like every time you stop at a light or everything, there's a high chance that that light has a camera on it that is literally taking video of you and your car stopped at that red light. The way out of my place leads you to 2 red lights, and both of those red lights, last time I checked, have cameras on them, because I literally live on a busy main street. They never got back to me with any information about any of that, which low-key made me very upset, because if you simply track the cameras, you can easily find out whether the car went left or right. And then from there, you can kind of figure out the rest of the way, which gives a little bit of a hint, especially for me, considering I'm like, I might know who these people are that keep effing with my car. Because the moment they said that description, I was like, sounds kind of like. Weeks go by. At this point, I'm literally like mentally preparing for a funeral for my child, my car, and that's literally my child. And then to figure out where in the world I'm going to get money to get another car, unless I win the lottery. And then, long story short, I find my car. It was at an impound, and I really want to scream, because apparently that car had been in there for a week. And here's my issue. So when I was talking with the police about certain things, certain cars and all that stuff, they kept saying like, oh, that can't be your car because the license plate doesn't match. In my head, I'm thinking, how easy is it to replace a license plate? You know? I'm like, it doesn't matter if the license plate doesn't match. You can easily switch a license plate. You should still go check to see if that car is mine. Screaming, crying. shitting myself. So basically what happened was, got the towing company. They were like, yeah, got this car, and we literally sent the information to the police, and they were like, no, the license plate doesn't match, so it's probably not the car. The license plate did match a Honda Civic. I feel like I just had like a seizure. And so in my head, I'm like, you know how easy it is to just get any Honda's license plate and then put it on another Honda? Like, not to sound like a criminal, but it's really easy to just switch a license plate, you know? But they're like, no, it can't be. It can't be. Because the license doesn't match. And then a week goes by, and they're like, okay, the towing place ends up being like, let's kind of see the information more on this. And then they finally alert the police again. They're like, hey, are you sure? Because this VIN number matches this. And they're like, oh, I guess it is. And so once again, I just want you to know, even if a license plate doesn't match, you should probably still go investigate or ask more questions. Or ask, hey, can you send this information just to fully confirm 100% without a doubt? Because that's how our court system apparently works. You have to say, without a doubt, 100%. I end up having to go there to the towing place and checking out the damage of my child. I found out that two disgusting bitches had taken my car. And I don't mean disgusting, like literally dusted, busted, crusted ass bitches. Gross, disgusting, repulsive, just so nasty. Sewer ass type of the ring ass bitches had literally taken my car. I have no remorse or anything for anything that I just said. Because when we found my child, there was literal burnt tinfoil, burnt straws. So if anybody knows about drugs, y'all know tweakers. They had left their grinder with a little bit of weed, but no way in hell was I gonna go near any of that, because that shit smelled gross as fuck. The whole car smelled gross as fuck. They had literal, like, they went shopping at the fucking Dollar Tree or something, got scissors and like basically all these little metal things they needed to whatever, do their own little contraption of whatever shit they were inhaling or taking or anything. Just tweaker ass behavior, basically. There was literally gross ass fungal cream and fungal powder, so them bitches had feet issues. Not surprised. Normally tweakers are literally decaying by the second. I hate people. I really hate people. I understand there's people in this world that have an addiction problem, and I get that. I'm not one to blame those, but then there's the ones that choose to do reckless shit and be full on stupid and assholes, and literally all you are gonna get is bad karma. I don't mind if you're doing your shit somewhere else, you know, not hurting anybody, but you did hurt somebody. You hurt and took advantage of somebody. That's the behavior that I'm not gonna fuck with. As long as you're not causing harm or negative things to other people, you do whatever the fuck you want. But the moment you start causing harm to others or ill will towards other people, then I truly do hope that a lightning bolt strikes you down. They had literally stolen my skateboard from my trunk, so there's probably somebody out there with my skateboard, and I really hope they get bullied, because my skateboard is covered in pride stickers.
What in the a kickflip, bro?
Really hopeful that somebody looks at this person and just bullies them. That's the most I can do right now. I'm using the homophobia that was aimed towards me, and I'm hoping it gets aimed towards them. They took my plushie from my trunk and used it as an inappropriate pillow. Let's not talk about it. There was gross ass clothes. There's literally a woman's Gucci sandal, and not Gucci like expensive, I mean like probably Gucci from Burlington or Ross type of beat. Literally a bag with the hoodie that the officer had described to me. the person wearing a black hoodie, I found that black hoodie in a plastic bag, and it was literally covered in jizz stains. So disgusting. But yeah, and also the whole passenger seat was covered in literally the worst kind of candy. I'm sorry, but it's literally this like the Nerds whatever candy, and literally like that shit can melt into the fabric of stuff, and my shit's not leather. And basically we tried, I didn't want to go deep clean on my own because I was scared that what if I find fucking needles or sharp shit, and I'm not trying to get infected with whatever the fuck those fungal ass bitches had. But yeah, they had wrecked my whole console. The ignition was messed up. And yeah, basically everybody I talked to on the process of getting my car back together again told me that these people were stupid as fuck, dumb as fuck, dumber than a fucking brick. I'm just gonna state the obvious out here, okay? I love JDM cars, I love Hondas, but I also understand that how easy it is to break into a Honda. And I hope that we can fix that issue. Honda, please, let's up our security or something. It is easy to break into a Honda, okay? If you really want to start it, you can just drill down a key and like jiggle it in there for a while and the car will start. So they found the key part that they tried to do that with, but they were so dumb that it didn't work. Somehow my baby wasn't starting for them because she knew, my car knew this wasn't the touch of her father, her parent. So it didn't start with their little keyed whatever shit. And so they ended up getting frustrated and taking apart the whole fucking steering wheel area. I'm gonna scream, gonna shout, gonna just cry my ass off. We were able to get it fixed, thankfully. We found an amazing place that did it for quite a great price. I called one place and they were trying to charge me over $500 to fix the ignition. And literally I found an amazing place that did it for a fraction of the price and even put my console back together and even jump started the car for me. People were so nice that I will be going back and purchasing some extra stuff from them. Literally, I for now and forever will recommend anybody with ignition problems to go to that place. Yeah, I was able to also get her deep cleaned seats and all that gunk and everything out for also quite a decent price as well. Yeah, so I kind of got her set up with a couple of protective measures right now until I can save the money to do some bigger work on her. I have her back though, thankfully. We're working little by little to get her back to perfection and to hopefully get her nicely stable and ready to go and be safe wherever I go. But yeah, that was basically my little story time on my car being stolen and how I might become Batman and find these people. And I just like literally like stuff like this. I'm like, I either want you caught and arrested or I really want the worst of the worst to happen to you, but I just have to trust that the universe will handle that on my behalf, even though I would love to see it, you know? I would love to see it, I would love to hear about it, I would love to witness it. Like your downfall, the worst of the worst, you falling down to your deepest, you found the fucking bottom, you hit rock bottom, and then the universe just like keeps digging a freaking hole even farther down for you. That's my story time. I will probably do a video on another thing. So literally the day directly after having to file a police report, I was literally about to crash out. And by crash out, I really was upset that nobody in the apartment did anything. Nobody called, nobody said anything. The security didn't work, the cameras were like all of that really had me like at peak upset that I was about to lose it. Like I really was. As an Aries, all my years of rage that I never let out was about to come out, and I really thought for a second that I might smash every Windows car in that place. I thought they took my kid, I'm gonna make it everybody else's problem and smash everyone's car. Like not their car, but like a window at least, you know? But thankfully I have amazing friends that keep me from doing dumb stuff, and they help me figure out a different way to handle all those emotions and distract me from those emotions and distract me from being stupid, because sometimes you just really need those people to just help you not be that type of dumb. But I have a video on what I did the day after that's in the works. I recorded literally the same around the same time, and it was definitely a crash out video for sure. I don't know if this one is. Maybe this one is a little bit, but not as intense as how I felt back then. But for some reason, my SD card on my other camera for that wiped away all the footage, and so I only have a couple clips from my phone, so I'm gonna have to redo that video, which is gonna give less intensity, less content, but I'll still throw in the original like end half of the video, so you can kind of tell the difference of my mental state from then. But yeah, but thank you guys for watching. I'll probably add that clip somewhere on here, that video, or wait for that video, I guess. Might be the next video I upload is that video, and I have a couple more in the works that I'm trying to get to. But yeah, let me check my camera. Let me check my
Let me check my chest, my breath right quick.
Thank you guys so much for watching this little story time, little new environment time. Hopefully, see you guys in the next video. That's probably going to be that video that I was mentioning 2 seconds ago, 2 minutes ago. You decide how long ago it was in that video, thanks to editing. But yeah, hope you guys have an amazing day. Sorry, I look like I'm so like just drained from telling that story. I'm gonna go relax, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Hope you enjoyed the story time. If you did, leave a like. If you're new, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100. Like, I'm trying to get to 100. So yeah, I reached it once. Maybe I can reach it again, and maybe I can go even farther beyond this plane, beyond this surface, and just look like stonks that are doing well. Maybe I can grow bigger. That's what he said. Let me stop there. Okay, bye guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love talking to you guys. Bye. Yeah.